Hello my crafty friends and Happy New Year. It's Terry from Veegstez Creates. Welcome back if you're new to my channel. So today it's just going to be a quick video of me showing you these gorgeous digital stamps and what I've done with them. So for 2022 some really exciting things have been happening in Veegstez land. So I have joined the Kate Hadfield Designs creative team. So for those of you that aren't aware of Kate Hadfield Designs, Kate is an amazingly talented illustrator, and she makes products, digital stamps that you can get that are coloured up beautifully, or you can get them plain if you're a card maker like myself who likes to colour in their own stamps. Also lots of supplies for scrapbookers as well. So I'll put the links to her socials and stuff down below. So I'm really excited to be to have joined this team, because what I'm going to be doing is obviously getting to create with these gorgeous images. I'll be doing 2 projects a month and at least 1 blog post a month. So it's going to be sort of like an in-depth blog post. So I've just done my first one, which was an in-depth colouring tutorial. I used the winter flora pack for that one. So again, I'll put the link to the blog down in the description box if you want to see that. The card I think is really nice, and I coloured it up with my Copics, and it's just lovely. And for those of you who are my regulars, you'll know that I've always sort of veered away a little bit from digital stamps. I guess sort of it felt a bit out of my comfort zone. Like I'd used them a few times but wasn't sure whether I needed to have like Photoshop or something like that. But so if you're like that, it's not, it's really easy. So basically what I did, because I don't have Microsoft Word on my computer, and I'm tight. I don't like to pay for things unless I don't have to. So I downloaded this version, like this free version of Photoshop called GIMP, and I just found it really confusing and really, difficult to use. So then what I did was I downloaded Open Office. So that's basically the same as like Microsoft Word, Excel, etc. But I just wanted it for the text document, so I just downloaded that one. And so it turns out you can just drag and drop the images into like a blank Word document or blank text document and resize them. So I turned the piece of A4 card, or the A4. So if you imagine me sat in front of my laptop with the text document, I made it in landscape format. I minimised all the margins, so basically it would be the same as stamping onto an A4 piece of card. And on one half of the card, so which would be like A5 size, I used loads of images and made them all really small. So I resized them so they were all like this. So this was one side. And then the other side, I used some of these gorgeous images here. So I made this snowman quite large, and this one, and then I made this one a bit smaller, and then the penguin smaller. And I had great fun colouring all these up. I've treated myself. I'm not sure whether my haul video will be up at this point. If it is, I'll link it in the description box. But I treated myself. I couldn't resist, guys. I treated myself to some really good quality pencil crayons. I've been hearing so much good stuff about polychromos, so they were like half price. So I treated myself to these. They're about 40 quid in the sale, but again I got 10% off, so I think I ended up paying less than 40 quid whereas they're usually about 90 quid. So if you like the look of these, I mean, look at this. I think particularly, I mean, I've used 2 colours there to blend the snowman's little jumper together, and I've done like a little cross hatching look here at Styly on his little scarf, and I just think it looks really cute. But I decided not to use these two images at the moment, and plus the fact I don't like the way that I've coloured him. I think he looks a bit dark for my liking. I prefer the way I've done this snowman, which is just by using a very pale blue and then a bit of cream, like a creamy yellow. So you know, if you're stuck for how to colour white things, that's sort of what I tend to do, is use like a pale blue or a pale a very pale lilac or something. Like with my Copics, I use Shadow Mauve BV000. But yeah, so basically I've coloured these up, fussy cut them. This was like a whole panel which was bigger than this, and then I coloured it all in, and then I've trimmed it down, and I pulled out 2 American size A2 card blanks, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then I made a boo-boo, and so I cut the paint. What I should have done was cut this to be a 1/4 inch on each of these sides, so it should have been 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, but I did 4 inches by 5 inches. So basically, when I cut my mat to the in between those 2 sizes, it was too long. So basically, I've had to trim. I've had to trim like a 1/4 inch off the end of my cards, but it's fine. So this is what they're both going to be, very much the same. I've picked this nice grass green from Tonic Studios, and so it's going to be very simple. They're both going to be sort of the same. So these are like, you could use them as like Christmas cards or like winter birthday cards, is what I'm thinking, because there's nothing overtly Christmassy about them. There's no Christmas trees on there or anything. And we're in the bleak midwinter, aren't we? Do you know what I mean? And people still have birthdays. So I figured that I would make these into 2 nice, cute, sweet, fun birthday cards. So yeah, so let's get and assemble these, and so you can see how cute they look. So I've been looking through my stamps, and I'm going to use this cute little set from My Sentiments Exactly, the Veegstez. I love the font in this set. So I'm going to use the Happy Birthday from this one, and I think it's a really nice size as well. I'm going to have them both set off to one side, but the snowman more so, and then have the stamp coming in from the left hand side on a bit of an angle. And this is a little tip for you. Whenever I get pieces of card that are like skinny strips, I always keep them. So they're really useful for when you need to die cut like tiny little elements, or for sentiment strips, and for when you need them to match the card exactly, because as we know, not all white card is the same colour white. So I just find it really handy. And I'm just going to use my stamping platform because, again, I just find it easier to use a stamping platform than an acrylic block. And obviously, because that's a pigment ink, it's going to take a little minute to dry, but that's fine. We make that sacrifice because it gives us such a lovely image, and that will give us time to make little backing things for these. So I'm going to get my nice scissors. So I really like these Tim Holtz little scissors. I'm not sure exactly what they're called, but they come in that tin and they're really nice and sharp. So I want... that's what I want to do first. So I'm just going to cut these. There. So it's about the same at each end. This one I'm going to keep longer because I want it coming across like that. That one, it can be more centered. And I actually find that it's easier to glue the sentiment down and then cut around the edge, rather than cutting the coloured backing first. So I use a nice strong glue that gives me a bit of wiggle time. So I'm using the Nouveau Deluxe adhesive today. And then just trying not to touch that happy birthday because that will still be wet. And then I'm going to switch to my long bladed scissors, which happen to be tailored scissors, which I won in a competition. But long bladed scissors are really good for stuff like this because you can just get a nice even cut. See, that's like perfect. That's as good as you would get with a paper trimmer. So that's going to go on the snowman card, and then this one I'm going to want it coming out more, I think. Maybe not quite that much though. Trim a little bit off there. Yep. So I hope you're all well anyway, and let me know in the comments, did you have any nice crafty goodies for Christmas, or did you make any bargainous crafty purchases in cyber sales or Christmas sales or Boxing Day sales or New Year's sales? It's like there's been like a sale like every day, it seems like, for the last few months. So now looking at him, I think he is blending in too much with the background, so I think he needs to also be glued onto some card. Yeah, he does. So I'm going to glue him onto that, and I'm going to do the same for the snowman, and then I'm going to wait for that to dry and then fussy cut around them again. So I shall see you back in a moment with the completed assembled cards. And here we go, my friends, the completed cards. So I really like the way that they've both turned out. I think they're just super cute and simple. And then I added a few silver sequins onto each one. I also, actually, you can just about see, I added some Tonic crystal glaze onto the nose of the snowman and the little beak and feet of the penguin, just for a little bit of added extra. So I think these cards are absolutely adorable and would be perfect for winter birthdays. So let me know what you think. Do you like them? Are you a relative newbie to using digital stamps, or are you an old hand? I'd love to know. And in a moment, YouTube's going to suggest some other videos of mine that you might enjoy, and a particular video that the YouTube gods think that you will probably definitely enjoy. So I hope you, if you're new to my channel, that you have a mooch around and see what you think. So that's all from me today. It's been lovely spending this time with you, and I will see and speak to you soon with some more crafty goodness. Bye for now.